We're hot. Goshawk is in the groove. Goshawk is over the ramp. It's a little bit laggy right now, y'all, and I do apologize for that. Alright, you guys gotta kind of bear with me. Yes, my mustache hairs are in the grooming standards. Thank you. You gotta be on point down here in Pensacola. They don't play around. My good friend Jesse. Good to see you, sir. Glad you made it. Glad you made it for the bullshit. It's gonna be a great night, y'all. I'm trying to get my shit together. Trying anyway. I don't know how successful I'm gonna be, but it's gonna be a great night. I'm not gonna be able to shoot the video or upload the video that I wanted to. In fact, I'm pretty sure this thing's gonna crash at any moment. Using NGIS Wi-Fi, which is so great. But if you guys can, let me know if you guys can hear me. Can't hear me? Hit it up in the chat. Okay. Okay, now I think I figured it out. Okay, so I'm not really sure what the problem here is. I'm trying to figure it out. Yes. I don't know what. It's buffering real bad right now. I'm trying to fix it. I cannot freaking get this thing to work. But the desktop audio is good. Virtual is good. I'm trying to use OBS and it's not receiving a video. So there's a huge buffering issue right now I'm trying to work through. And it's just not working. Yeah, I'm trying to get this thing to work. Well, at least you can hear me at least. Is there a huge lag, Jesse? Okay. So there's like a 3-second hang on, I got everybody else. Okay. Well, I'm trying to work through this problem that we're having right now. I'm using two separate programs right now. I'm using the YouTube Studio, and I'm using the Open Broadcasting Software Studio, and there's a lag between the two of them. So you guys just have to bear with me. And on top of them, using hotel Wi-Fi. But yeah, looks like I got two people in right now. If everybody, see Jesse's in. I'm not sure who else is in. If anybody else is watching, go ahead and hit me up in the live chat that I got opened up. We're having a great time with this. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm very much looking forward to this. I've got everybody hitting me up at once. God, I have to silence my phone. Okay. Good evening. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I've had to switch videos like 3 times. Y'all got to kind of bear with me. It's my first live stream I've ever done. I'm going to edit out about. I'm probably going to keep all of this just for shits and gigs, but got Juggernaut is in the house. Mr. Unstoppable, sir, I salute you. Yeah, it's going to be a great time. I was really kind of hoping I could get the video up, but yeah, this is the game that I play. Yeah, I'm getting 4 people in at this point. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick this party off. So I don't know if everybody's seen it. Like I said, I was gonna try to upload the video tonight, using the OBS to bring up. We're gonna watch the video together and talk about it, but I can't do that. I'm having an issue with OBS. There's a couple of things I need to fix with this system. You know what? We're just gonna dive into this. Okay, we're gonna dive into this program. Hey Jesse, do you miss these? I bet you do. So we're gonna go ahead and kick this party off. It's lagging really bad. I'm looking at it right now. It's like a 5-second delay. But we're gonna kick this party off. So I saw it yesterday that oh God, YouTube is not receiving it maintained. Yeah, so I'm having an issue with OBS still, but I'm just gonna dive right into this thing. Yesterday, the Pentagon released video of it was 3 separate incidences I'm kind of looking at it on my phone right now. And trying to get my shit together, I promise. So they released these 3 videos, and the first one, I'm looking at it right now, is it's literally a cell phone shot through. It's a cell phone shot through. Well, it looks to be a night vision monocle of an object flying overhead, and it's not a really great video at all. I'm not even gonna lie. And I was really skeptical about it the first time I saw it. It was, it's your cliche UFO. The photo's really grainy. You can't really see what's going on. There's this weird object flying through the sky. And if this was over in the UAE or in Saudi Arabia, I'd say it's a freaking drone, because these are what drones look like. But this was off the coast of San Diego, and it was. I don't see why we'd be sending drones out over one of our own ships. This particular instance, they're saying happened on the USS Russell, DDG-52, maybe. But so I was skeptical of that one, and then it rolls into 2 separate videos, both from F-16s. So it's pod camera footage. It's very, very good footage. And you can see this thing hits. Yeah, it's lagging out real bad. It said it was a cylinder-shaped object, an oval-shaped object, and an acorn-shaped object. And when I heard it was an acorn-shaped object, I freaked out. Not even gonna lie. But the reason I'm freaked out about that was the last time there was an acorn-shaped object was, I have some notes right here, I kind of wrote some stuff down, was a Kecksburg, Pennsylvania incident, which was the one that got me started into UFOs. It was Kecksburg. But yeah, it's just that somebody asked me a question earlier, was why now is the Pentagon or the government actually acknowledging these? And this is why. Everybody nowadays has a camera. If you do something stupid nowadays on doing anything, somebody's videotaping it. We've all seen it. And there's too many unidentified aerial phenomena, is what they're called now, UFOs. Everybody's recording everything. It's not like back in the 50s where you had one dirt farmer out there takes a picture of something, gives it to the local paper. The government's only going to silence one dude now and then retract the information. It's not hard. Nowadays, it's impossible, because as soon as somebody sees something, they throw it up on social media and they start spreading it everywhere. It's like cancer. But I'm going to go over some topics about that. So I think that's one of the reasons they're coming forward with this stuff, is there's too many of them. And it's not just the government's picking up. I was watching some stuff on YouTube last night. The New York Post does a series called The Basement Office. Not sponsored. And they're talking about, they have a whole bunch of audio between commercial flights and air traffic controllers of, hey, something just passed me. Do you have anything on it? Is there any military aircraft in the area? I just got passed by something, high rate of speed, high altitude. And they're like, no, we ain't got nothing on radar. So it's not just the military that's seeing this. It's also stuff's being recorded at FAA size. Okay, getting messages with questions now. So the first question I have about this video, love the questions. You guys have questions, jam them in the live chat. I'm going to answer all your questions to the best of my knowledge. So one of the questions I have is, how do we know if this is real and not as, how do we know this is real? That's a great question, is we really don't know. And the thing that kind of blows my mind is, that's what I was saying, was it was really skeptical about the one cell phone, because it looks like somebody was holding a cell phone up to a night vision monocle. And I'm like, that's really hard to project. You know, like that could be fake, because it says it's on a ship. I've never seen this on a destroyer before. I mean, I know what a flat top looks like. And I know, you know, my esteemed colleague Jesse knows what a flat top looks like when you're in the catwalk and stuff. And this one doesn't look right. But the images on the F-16s, that's pretty, you know, you gotta do a lot of work, and they're saying it's genuine. And there's a lot of guys that they're gonna take this video footage and they're gonna dissect it. So I'm actually kind of curious of what comes out of these to see if it is a hoax or not. The government's saying it's not a hoax. Why is the government now saying it's not a hoax? Why now? I mean, great question. We really don't know, but you know, there's not everybody has a cell phone now that can shoot video, but not everybody has an F-16. Now, did somebody did somebody take an actual chase video of an F-16 doing some stuff and then maybe crop some stuff in there? We don't know. Why are there three different shapes? That was the other question that was asked. You know, that's a great question. Why is there different shaped aircraft? You know, what are they for? What are they doing? I've already answered the other question. Why now is being emitted? There's bigger things to come. Oh wait, hold up. Why three different shapes? You know, that's a great question. Why are there three different shapes? Because, you know, maybe it's different style aircraft, different missions. But here's an interesting thing. I was thinking about this last night. Is why now are there different shapes? Because if you remember back, you know, the first we're going to talk about flying saucers, right? That was one thing I was going to lead to after we were talking about this video, was why is there from basically 47 to, I think the last confirmed actual saucer sighting was in 2006, right? But that was the last one. There was a 30-year run of flying discs. And then you start getting into the triangle, pyramid shapes. And then you get into the orbs. The orbs was early 90s too. But why did it change? Is it somebody else? Did we just get a run of just one species come to look at us and all of a sudden others started showing up too? We don't know. But, you know, that's the question. Why is there new aircraft? Why is it for 30 years all we're seeing is flying saucers, and then all of a sudden the whole thing changes? You don't see flying saucers. Like I said, the last actual picture of a flying saucer was 2006 over Chicago Airport, and a whole bunch of people saw it. It was literally sitting over the runway. Google that one. That one's pretty cool. Oh, I'm getting blown up again. Everybody wants to talk to me while I'm trying to stream. Assholes. These guys are... Work is messaging me. You guys got to give me a second. I cannot get a word in edgewise. Go away. Okay. Fuck. So now I'm going to go over a little bit of history of the flying saucers. So man has been seeing things for the last 1,000 years, the last 1,300 years. There is so many images, pictures, just crazy. If you look at some old school drawings, there's pictures of flying saucers and some stuff that was like 13th century. And if I can ever get this program to work, I'm going to start throwing pictures up there for you guys. Not tonight. I can't do it tonight. But one of the first flying saucer images that was thrown up, which was actually really cool, the first actual saucer reporting to the news was not Roswell, but it was actually by Kenneth Arnold, who is a small aircraft pilot. Oh, weird messages. It was a small aircraft pilot that saw a very strange aircraft over Mount Rainier. That was June 24th, 1947, over Mount Rainier. That he saw 9 flying objects in formation that were sitting there bouncing, and they looked like little boomerangs. Look that up. Look his name up. That's some really cool stuff. And then what happens 2 weeks later? I'm going to tell you right now, July 8th, 1947, Roswell, New Mexico, baby. U.S. Army releases a statement that a flying disc had been found on a ranch near Roswell and is an Army possession. They 100% right off the bat came forward with it, right? 24 hours later, Army Air Force withdrew statement and said they had made a terrible mistake and had recovered a weather balloon. And that's how the whole thing started. That's how this whole government conspiracy started, with the government trying to cover up UFOs. So the guys that were down there at the time, it was the Roswell Army Air Force. It was the 509th Bomb Group, which had nuclear capability. They were a transcontinental, had nuclear strike. You know, I think if there was somebody that was going to go out there, I'm pretty sure anybody would know the difference between actual aircraft wreckage and a weather balloon. Just throwing that one out there. Okay. I mean, that's just me personally. But in 1950, in McMillville, Oregon, is probably one of the most famous post-Roswell disc sightings. And it was a gentleman taking a picture of, took 4 pictures of a aircraft or a saucer that was flying over the road. And he took 4 separate photos of it. And when he took the last photo was, it said disappeared into a cloud of smoke. And it literally is, you guys look it up, it's a hole punch cloud. That one's nuts. That one to me is nuts. Excuse me, that was 1965. And that was Rex Heflin did that. He was driving down the road. He sees in photographs a flying saucer. It was just, it was really good footage too. He was in his truck and there's this thing flying over the road. He took 4 pictures of it from the seat of his vehicle. And like I said, had a hole punch cloud to it, which is crazy looking too, because you see saucer, 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 and then there's a cloud. You say just snapping pictures. And then also, December 9th, 1965, was the Kecksburg, Pennsylvania incident. And that one right there was the one that got me started, was Kecksburg. we're going to go all the way back to what we were just talking about. So the Kecksburg incident was several people in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania saw an object fly over the head and then crash into a ravine, and it was sitting there. It was emitting an intermittent blue light, and the local radio station had talked about it, brought it up, and somebody called it in saying, yeah, there's a piece of this because they thought it was a downed plane. Well, they called it in saying, lady called the local radio station saying, yeah, there's a piece of this out here in my field. 3 hours later, the Air Force shows up, the Army Air Force shows up and scoops this thing up, takes away. Several eyewitnesses from the local volunteer fire department that were actually on scene and said it looked like a cone/acorn-shaped object was down here in this ravine, and then the Army Air Force showed up and got everybody out of there, put this thing on a flatbed, and was gone. To this day, that incident is still classified. To this day, still classified. That one was actually witnessed. That was reported by citizens in 6 states, including Canada, seeing this thing going across the sky, and it did a 180 before it hit Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. To this day, the NASA hit government with the Freedom of Information Act, trying to get information on it. They've been stonewalled since the 90s. Okay, so this happened in 65. Still in 1990, they were getting stonewalled on. They were saying a meteor was recovered. That is what the official statement is. But nobody, there was back in the 60s, everything was being tracked. You gotta remember, this is kind of like Cold War mentality. Everything was being tracked that was that was headed in and out. Through our airspace was tracked. This night, this incident, there was nothing. Nobody put anything on the book. So there's no history of this at all, which just reeks of government cover-up. If you guys get a chance, go check out blackvault.com. They're not sponsored, but they actually have a whole bunch of data released for the Freedom of Information Act of incidences. Also check out the National UFO Reporting Center. It's an actual thing. Google it. I was looking at it last night. It was pretty cool. Fun fact, 2020, the most UFOs sighted were over Idaho. Yeah. I think right now the highest is New York. Don't quote me. I might be wrong. So going full circle with this is the government for years has been obviously denying the existence of UFOs and flying saucers. But there's an Air Force document called a 10-TAC 206. Look it up. And it's kind of interesting what's in Chapter 5. So in Chapter 5, it's everything that you're supposed to report for a pilot. In Chapter 5.6.3, it is UFOs. You will report UFOs. That to me is mental. And it's not like something that gets, because there's a lot of documents in the military, old instructions that get forgotten. Well, these don't, because every year they get updated, and then the stuff that's no longer applicable gets pulled. But under Chapter 5, it's still there. That to me is nuts. That pilots will actually be required to report UFOs. I'm just throwing that one out there. All right, so now I'm looking at this. I do not believe it is a cover-up. So Juggernaut just telling me I do not believe it is a cover-up, but a misdirection. That's the thing. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I mean, maybe you think they're throwing stuff out there to try to throw us off the beaten path. Yeah, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. I'm not going to, I wouldn't doubt that at all. But at the same time, I mean, why is it something that, you know, they declassified Area 51, but Kecksburg is still a huge mystery. Good question, Juggernaut. Love it. Good stuff. Good stuff. If anybody else has any questions, let's go. We'll open it up to the floor for the next couple of minutes. Let's see what you guys got. What you guys got for me? Love the questions, by the way. Love questions. But I'm gonna try to get this program to work a little bit better. I think the next time I'm gonna have some better videos up for you guys. So, all right, let me check here. I'm getting blown up. People are asking questions. Have you heard? DOD admitting just because they were leaked. I mean, that's yes and no. Do I think that they admitted it because it was leaked information? Hell no. Hell no. Why are they admitting it? Why are they saying it's a hoax? Because we all know if something gets out, they're gonna pull that plausible deniability. Okay. I am hoping this is a prequel to aliens announcing themselves. I think they've been trying to announce themselves for years. And we just haven't figured it out. I mean, I think one of my favorites is the NASA live stream. So NASA has a live stream video of the space station, and you see out of the darkness an object floats up to the station, and then they cut the feed, and you're like, oh, what's that? Okay, I'm getting questions on my phone still. Why are there only seeing it in the middle of nowhere where Bigfoot and Weenie are fishing and not over downtown Seattle? See, this is where I'm going to throw a curveball at you. Because back in the 1950s, there's a lot of wide open space. Look at the 2006 Chicago O'Hare UFO. That thing is sitting over the tarmac, and it's probably 70 feet wide. Look that photo up, and I really wish I could get this program to work where I can start bringing pictures up and showing you guys, because this stuff's great. Good stuff. Eleanor, I'm hoping this prequel is aliens announcing themselves. I think they've been trying to do it for years, but I'm afraid they're going to get. I think that they're afraid that they're going to get shot at. If anybody's got any other questions, go ahead and ask away. Have you heard about the officer in Israel admitting that they have known for some time, but humans would be too afraid of first contact? You know, and I believe it. I mean, I don't know how anybody was going to how anybody would react, honestly, if all of a sudden these guys started getting out and talking. I mean, who knows what the hell they would think. I would assume that they are peaceful if they are presenting themselves in such a passive way. What do you think? I mean, maybe, but at the same time, you know, I'm kind of hoping that they're peaceful at this point, because if they're out maneuvering F-16s, which is still at the top of the food chain, who knows? You know what I'm saying? I don't even know. That's my personal opinion. I'm just throwing that one out there. Light pollution in cities and the amount of lights of sightings in LA are astounding. This is true, but at the same time, you got to remember, you know, like we're gonna go back to like the Roswell. Or not Roswell, we're going to go back to Area 51. Everybody would flock to Area 51, and they didn't know what the hell was out there. They were always seeing these weird lights. And I know myself and Jesse, we'd be sitting there watching some of these videos. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's military aircraft. Because you got to remember, like, you got the U-2 spy plane, the F-117. They both came out of freaking Groom Lake. And those things were wreaking havoc on everybody. Nobody knew what the hell these things were. And then until Area 51 was declassified. They were saying how they were flying all this weird shit. Because during the Cold War, they needed a high altitude. So, like I said, the U-2 bomber, I think what's on record is 90,000 feet flight, flight time. Because they get shot at. Humans are remarkably violent. Yes, we are. You are 100% correct there. Love it. Love it, Eleanor. Love it. What else you guys got for me? See, you guys got questions coming in. Love it. Let's go. What you got for me? What you guys got for me? Yeah, I mean, I'm going back with Juggernaut was saying that light pollution in cities and the amount of sightings in LA are astounding. Yeah, again, how many of it is stealth aircraft? How many of it is... I wouldn't be surprised if we started seeing more. Like I think this year alone, and I'd have to look back at the UFO reporting, the National UFO Reporting Center. I'd actually have to look at how many big cities are actually getting the most sightings. I think the last time I looked at it was New York, I think, is in the lead right now. I have many opinions of humans. That's true. We all have opinions of humans. Keep it on topic, everybody. Come on now. Get your gear together. So, but it's just kind of interesting. I mean, I think last year, like I said, Idaho. That to me is interesting because all that's out there is potatoes. That was a shot at somebody that I know. But it's just crazy. I mean, I know me and Mr. Unstoppable have seen our fair share of weird ass crap out to sea over in Asia. We've seen our fair share of stuff. Do you think Star Trek was a training film to ease us into the thought of the others? I mean, probably not. I think that was just a regular TV show. That's my personal opinion. Before I get freaking burned in the comments, if it is stealth aircraft, they might want to turn their lights off so they won't get seen. I mean, yes and no, but at the same time, I mean, how many times have you and I looked at these videos and we're both like, oh, that's military aircraft. That's, hands down, that's somebody doing a flight from, someplace to someplace. I mean, stealth aircraft it doesn't even have to be a stealth aircraft. It could be any aircraft in general. I think you and I have seen several videos of where that's military aircraft. These guys are just like, oh my God, what is that? Because they've never seen an aircraft running at night. If I was trying to investigate a culture without getting seen, I would begin in an area where there are few entities and lots of places to hide. See, Eleanor, that's a great statement because that is true. And that goes back to the original question, but and now we're seeing so many more. Like back in the early, the 50s and 60s, you'd see this stuff. It was always over a dirt field. It was never over any big, city. But now you've got the pyramids now, which I'm only gonna talk about pyramids briefly. Pyramids is gonna be another live stream, and we're gonna argue all about that today. Tonight's just about flying saucers and the stuff the Pentagon was talking about. But you're starting to see more unidentified phenomenon, an aerial phenomenon over big cities now. And like I said, look at the UFO reporting, and it's welcome, Clumsy Ninja. I'm glad you made it. And it's crazy how many that you're seeing over. Like I said, the pyramids are starting to appear over the big cities now. But I'm not getting into pyramids. Pyramids is another conversation. Tactical reload. I gotta reload. So again, if anybody has any questions, go ahead and throw them up there. I'm running pretty good on time. I'm not gonna drag this out any longer than I have to. In the 50s and 60s, all the media containing aliens did not present themselves in a positive light. This is true. And why is that? Why is that? Because the 50s and 60s was the Cold War, and everybody was terrified of the Russians. And at the same time, back then that was taboo. UFOs were taboo. You were considered a crackpot. You were terrified. Nowadays, there are quite a positive presentation of aliens in the media. Well, yeah, I mean, times have changed exponentially. And everybody's, they want to know. People nowadays want to know, is there life beyond, our solar system? Because I'm going to tell you right now that if aliens touch down in anywhere and make contact, the books are being rewritten at that moment. Everything we knew no longer is applicable. War posturing, this is true. 100% true. Everybody was scared. Everybody was scared of the Russians. The same was true about robotics. Robotics are still evil, and that's a conversation for another day, Eleanor. Yeah, war posturing in the 1950s and 60s was the Cold War. Everybody was terrified. I mean, I would love to sit down and talk to some people that grew up in the 50s and 60s. How many of them had bomb shelters because they were getting bombed out by the Ruskies? That's just everybody was scared. The tensions were high, and all of a sudden, all this weird stuff started popping up overhead. There's another instance back in the 50s and 60s of a object flying over Los Angeles. Everybody was freaking out about that. You know what I'm saying? Terrified. They called the army in. I'll have to bring that one up. I'll have to find that one and throw that up there for you guys. You guys have to bear with me on that one. So, but yeah. See if anybody else has anything else any topics they want me to cover. Oh, we got another one. Did not see this one. Was there ever a correlation between sightings and humans being taken? I mean, okay. Alien abduction is a whole nother freaking ball of wax, okay? And that one that's been going on forever. Alien abduction, and the question is how many of these people actually did come in contact with aliens and how many of them are insane. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, I really do wonder, because if you look back in the time of the 70s and the 80s, when people were coming forward saying they were abducted by aliens, well, everybody's doing a little crap load of drugs too. So, were you actually abducted, or were you just tripping really hard? You know what I'm saying? So, that's going to be, alien abduction is going to be a topic for another day, and I'm not going to go into that one tonight. The country that first announces contact with advanced species will fall in quite a strong spotlight, positive or negative. They will be the center of attention. And this is true. But at the same time, I think it happened a long, long time ago. And if you guys watch Ancient Aliens, not a sponsor, highly recommend watching that, because those are great. That's great stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that you can't. And that's going to be probably a topic for another day, is when we actually start talking about ancient aliens, of how, how the pyramids were made, what were they for. I mean, this stuff is great. Okay. A fish caught by a fisherman would think it was abducted by aliens. Eleanor, I love you. I just want you to know that. If they were all scientists, if they are all scientists, we abduct specimens for scientific research. I mean, it's true. 100% juggernaut. I'm not saying it's not. 100%. But if you look at the caliber of people that come forward and say, I was abducted by aliens, come on, man. Like, and I get what you're saying, and I want to believe, too. There's one half of my brain that's like, what was it like? And the other half of my brain is like, full of crap. 100%. Yeah, I want to believe most of it, too. All right, the message that I just got back to abduction. Oh, Gapper, see, we're going into abduction now, everybody. Even in the Bible, Elijah was taken up in a chariot of fire. The drawing makes you wonder. I mean, yeah. I mean, that right there, ancient aliens went on that whole thing of, talking about the Bible, stuff that happened in the Bible, like the Exodus, Moses in the desert with the Israelites. It was nuts. I know I just butchered that. I'm going to get hemmed up for it. If we are very lucky, they are scientists. And again, Eleanor, I really do hope that they are, because I'm telling you, back to my original statement, if they're scientific aircraft that are out maneuvering our advanced military aircraft, we got problems. We got big problems. Again, it's just, if they were a war civilization, well, they could have killed us a long time ago. I think that's an unlikely possibility. This is true, but here's the thing: this is where I'm gonna kind of backtrack. I like where your head's at, Eleanor. I really do. Is what happened to the flying saucers? Why is it now we have pyramids and orbs? Riddle me that one. What happened? Why did it go from saucers to a different shape with stealth capability where it's invisible? You know what I'm saying? Still get messages. Humans are monsters. Yeah, agreed. We're only a couple million years old, if that. I mean, depending on where you look at. Very much, still very young species, comparatively speaking to everything around us. But we probably kill every alien we get our hands on. I really hope it doesn't come to that. I really hope that if it is a peaceful species, that we don't just go rolling into just killing everybody off. You know what I'm saying? I really hope it doesn't turn into that. Or we freak out and kill them and then we get exterminated as a species. I really hope that doesn't happen. Like your head's at. Like your head's at. Okay, so now, I'll love this one I know. Okay. Regarding different shapes, acorn gathering, cylinder, a bus, triangle in case of engagement, I think is what you were trying to say. Your autocorrect sucks, and you know who you are. It's a possibility. I mean, again, it's very rare, and like I said, there's only the amount of time that I've been doing this, and I'm not saying that I'm a professional. Okay, I'm not a UFOologist yet, but the last time, I mean, the cylinder was chased back in 2004 by an F-18 from the Nimitz. Represent. They said it looked like a 47-foot Tic Tac with two little antennae off the side of it, and it was running circles around this F-18. The acorn, the last time I heard of an acorn was the Kecksburg incident back in '65. And then the triangle, I don't even know. Like we said, now we're getting into, what are they for? Who runs this stuff? Okay. We attack what we don't understand. Look at the 5G network. I think you're trying to mess with me at this point there, Juggernaut. The 5G network. You're awesome. You might have messaged me that one, what your opinion on that one is. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those, you don't even understand. You guys got any more questions, let me know. Humans literally don't understand how species extinction worked until pretty recently. Okay, I can't pronounce that word. They were inconvenient, so we exterminated them without a second thought and consideration of the repercussions if aliens were to interact with humans. If aliens have interacted with humans, they are very patient race. I mean, yeah, and I'm not going to get too deep into that one, but again, look at ancient Egypt. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorites is how did they build what they built? Yeah, the Tasmanian tiger. Yeah, agreed. How did they build what they did with what they had? Because it was the Bronze Era. I mean, we're talking about cutting stone, like precision stone, perfect, clean. In the Bronze Era, come on, somebody helped. That's my opinion, personal opinion. Tasmanian tiger, you're a goofball. Love you, Juggernaut. You're awesome. All right, what else you guys got for me regarding the UFOs? We're getting a little bit off topic, but what do you guys got for me for UFOs? Yeah. Tasmanian tiger. I didn't know. You throw the scientific words at me. You know better than that. Oh, getting another message. What do we got here? What do you got for me? Pyramids, same time all over the world. Okay, yeah. Now, again, that is going to be a separate, it's also one I hold dear to my heart of how the hell did they do that? I don't know if Egyptians had pet cheetahs. Yeah, because there's pyramids all over the world that have the same different style, the same different setup. It's bizarre. Yeah. Yep. So, do you think? I'm assuming you're trying to tell me. Do you think they have a DNA structure similar to ours? I don't know. Put one in front of me. I'll figure it out. I don't know. Maybe. They like water for some reason. There's so many unidentified submerged object USOs now they're calling them. It's a possibility. Why else would they come here unless there was some form of carbon-based life form? I don't know. All right. I think it's a scientific study and school field trip for aliens. I fucking love you, Juggernaut. I mean, maybe. It's a possibility. Research center, who knows? But, I love the stuff. You guys could come up with some good stuff. I mean, good stuff. Good stuff. Anyway, that's some good stuff. So, does anybody else have any questions for me? Got about an hour and 3 minutes into this live stream. It's good stuff. I enjoyed it. Thank you guys for being really patient with me. I'm going to leave the floor open for about 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to shut this down. It's thought that liquid H2O is a prerequisite for life. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure. You know, but we don't know. You know, say we don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. So, got about 5 more minutes on this. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of wind this down. If you guys got any other questions, just kind of throw them out there. But I'm gonna wind this down. So I'm gonna start talking about, you know, obviously ancient Egypt's gonna be one of them. Machu Picchu is gonna be another one. The Aztecs, all these other guys. We'll start going into depth. Start talking about that because that's another one. Highly recommend watching Ancient Aliens, even if you guys can't stand the dude's hair. I just elbow tripped on camera. Love it. Check it out because some of that stuff's really interesting because they got guys in there, you know, machinists that are like the stuff. The walls, like in the Great Pyramid, are perfect. So that's gonna be a topic I want to talk about and look at. Once I figure out how to get my crap together with the OBS software, we'll start throwing pictures up there, and we're gonna go from there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my very first ever live stream. I had a lot of fun doing it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Tell me what you guys thought of it down in the comments section below. What you guys thought about it. What I should change. I got a couple of you guys hit me up on my phone telling me what I needed to do. I agreed. I wish the program would work a little bit better. I could get my crap together. But I love his hair too. There's a lot of people who can't stand it. So anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed this, and I can't wait to do it again. Y'all have a great night.